Hi, I am Dr. Param from School of Health Sciences, and I am teaching this PET module called Human Bioscience 1A, which is meant for nursing year 1 students. And this is what I have created for the so-called e-learning. And before I choose the e-learning content, and this is the information about the module. You can see this is about some of the human structure and the function, and there are so many topics in this module. So this is the module syllabus, and these are the learning outcomes, and these are the topics. So out of these so many topics, I chose cell physiology for e-learning because of the reason, because cell is such a small structure, and many students have difficulty in visualizing the small structures. So that's why I chose these topics, so that they can see animations and they can interact with the cell structure. So that's why I chose this cell physiology. And here there are the normal lessons, and here I created the e-learning lessons using two ways. The first one, what I did was I just imported the slides from PowerPoint, and I did some triggers, and this is how it looks like. So this is cell structure and function, and you can see this is about transport across cell membrane. And here, to make this e-learning personal, I created this text box so that the students can key in and get started. So this is what they see. Hi Param. At the end of the lesson, these are the things you are going to learn. So this gives the objectives and outcomes. Then, and there is next one, I've chunked the material into, say if you look at the transport across cell membrane, first there is an introduction, why there is transport in and out of the cell, and this transport can be passive and the active processes. So I divided everything into small chunks, and the students can go one by one. So this is the introduction. So the cell is surrounded by a fluid, that is extracellular fluid, and there is also fluid inside, that is intracellular fluid. I will not go into the details. Let me show something here which the students can see here. So this one shows a video where the student can interact and they can find out what exactly it is.
These tubes branch into smaller and smaller passageways. At the end of each passageway are little balloon-shaped sacs called alveoli. The alveoli are surrounded by an intricate network of blood vessels. When the air breathed in reaches the alveoli, the oxygen from the air passes into the...
So at this point, you can see there is a simple diffusion of gas from outside, that goes into the alveoli of the lung, into the bloodstream. And the students have to identify the actual site of diffusion. So unless they click the correct site, if I click here, it won't move. If I click here, it won't move, because the correct site of diffusion is here. If they click here, it moves, so that the students can interact and identify the correct site.
Carbon dioxide passes from the bloodstream back into the alveoli, and then is breathed.
Okay, I move on to the next one. So these are the other things I have done in this slide. So after everything, so once they finish simple diffusion, they move on to the next one, that is active transport. So you can see there are various animations. So once they finish introduction, then they go into passive and active. And once they finish all this, they can test the knowledge. So for example, cell membrane, is it permeable to all substances? It is false. Okay. So submit, and it gives response, immediate feedback, continue. And just again, there is a quiz here which they can do. At the end of it, there is a matching also. So submit, Okay, I've given few chances here. Then again choose multiple responses, submit, try again, two chances, continue. At the end of this there is a result slide. So this I created using PowerPoint slides which are imported into Articulate Storyline 2. This is one way. Whereas the other one, this one I found a bit difficult because once I import the PowerPoint slides into Storyline 2, I have to change the font, I have to change the format, everything, and I have to create additional triggers. The second method I used was this. So the second method I used was instead of importing slides from PowerPoint, I use a template of the Articulate Storyline 2, and I found it quite neat, and I don't have to do much formatting editing. So this is using this slide. This file is created using a Storyline template, and you can see the same thing. First there is objectives and outcomes, and after that there is this pop-up menu. So before they review the cell structure and function, they can see the overall view, click each point, and it tells what exactly it is. So you can see there are many. After this, they go into details. So there are two types of cell organelles. This is talking about so-called membranous organelles. And this is the definition. After this is supposed to be the previous one. That is, there are two kinds of organelles inside the cell. So since they have finished the first one, that is removed, automatically disappears. Now they have to choose the membranous organelle, and here I divided the contents into further smaller chunks so that student can study each structure followed by function, and they can self-check. There is self-assessment. If I click this, you can see this is endoplasmic reticulum, and there is enlarged view of rough ER as well as smooth ER. So this is using the zoom function in certain structure. Then after that they look at the function. Then after that they can self-check. There is a self-assessment. Here they have to label everything. So this is nuclear envelope. This is rough ER. This is say smooth ER. So if they check, it says correct. So that is one thing. Then after that, there is a summary, and you can see the students can track. So they have finished the structure, function, and quiz. Let me move on to the next one. I skip this. Just go to the function directly. And here, there is a diagram, and they are supposed to identify the correct structure, that is Golgi apparatus, and study its function. And if they click here, again, there is a video interaction.
This is a cell that secretes large molecules that are unable to pass through the lipid bilayer of the plasma membrane.
So here, after going through this video, they have to click the correct organelle inside the cell. So this is the correct organelle, that is rough ER. Then the video will continue. Okay, and they have to identify one more structure.
By a process known as exocytosis.
So which means they have to identify the next structure to complete the video. So this is the next structure.
Production in a system of membranes called the endoplasmic reticulum.
Okay, I won't go into details. So this is one highlight. The other one I can go next. Say choose one more organelle. So there is a matching question here. After this, then submit. They get a feedback, and if they are right or wrong, again there is a reason. Then move on to the next one. So if I choose another one, say mitochondria, structure and function. So you can see again this is a mitochondria. If they choose the correct part of the mitochondria, again there is a pop-up quiz video.
Cells ATP synthesis occurs in mitochondria. A mitochondria is a sac within a sac.
So these videos I have got permission from the authors. I have written permission, but they haven't given the permission yet. So after that there is a different quiz. So you can see there is a nucleus quiz. Here this is they have to choose the correct one. The structures are labeled here. For example, number 1 is say chromatin. So number 2 is say nuclear membrane. So they have to choose the correct one. So submit again. So that is again, this is very interactive. Then after studying all these cell organelles, there is overall review of all organelles. And here the cell organelles are classified. Then the functions are summarized. Then the students have to identify the structure one by one. Here there is a drag and drop. Say for example, if they choose here, this is wrong. Suppose if I choose the correct one, say this is the Golgi apparatus, which is here, it is correct. So this is drag and drop, which the students found very useful for identifying their cell organelles. So this is for identifying the cell structure. This is followed by, let me complete this. So it will give a feedback. Then after that, so there is another one where they have to know the cell organelle. After that, choose the function. For example, here number 1 is mitochondria and the function is energy production, which is this. Number 2 is a cell membrane and the correct function is say selective permeability. So this is to review the function, which again students found interesting. So after that, there is again a quiz. So because the common mode of testing is multiple choice questions. So at the end of the structure identification as well as the function identification, they have to go through all the questions. At the end of this, again there is yes result slide, which shows whether they have done well or not. And you can see here, this is, so just I'm going through all the questions to get at the result slide. Okay, so this is the result slide. So this is what I have done for the e-learning. So one, to summarize. So the first lesson I created by importing PowerPoint slides into Storyline 2, where I have to change so many things, the font and formatting, everything. The second one, the second lesson and third lesson, I created using Storyline template, which I found very useful because there are so many functions I can do. So there is a video interaction, there is drag and drop, there is choosing the correct response. So this I found very useful. Thank you for.